Hi everyone. So I was feeling a little guilty at not being able to show the wood bison last time, so we went back to see if we could find them. The morning sun shone briefly before disappearing behind a blanket of clouds. It was warmer this day, I think only a couple of degrees below zero, but the wind was quite cold. Along our way, we spotted a large wasp's nest that was only half ripped open. We were lucky to see a few wood bison cross in front of us. Just a reminder, always keep a safe distance. You can tell my camera is really struggling as I was zoomed in as much as it would allow. As I mentioned in a previous video, there are two subspecies of bison. The wood bison is the subspecies that evolved and lives in boreal forests, and is considered to be the link between the plains bison and an ancestor that crossed the Bering Land Bridge. Its scientific name, bison athabaskaw, derives from Athabasca, which is the area where the wood bison can be found. The word Athabasca derives from a Cree word, athapaskaw, which means grass or reeds here and there, or plants one after another. The wood bison that were brought from Wood Buffalo National Park, which contains Lake Athabasca, are considered to be genetically the most pure wood bison remaining. This clip is when a group of male plains bison crossed in front of us. I was glad we were in the relative safety of the vehicle. I absolutely loved seeing them marching through the snow. You can see how it would be difficult to tell how many animals you were tracking in the snow because they walk in a line. These clips were a few moments later when we saw a herd that was grazing near the fence. Elk Island National Park is Canada's only national park that is completely fenced in. This way, they can manage the two subspecies easier and prevent the bison from having negative encounters with humans and accidents on the highways. You can see how they use their large heads to shovel the snow out of the way so that they can reach the grasses underneath. So, wood bison, plains bison. Some of you may be wondering what the difference is, and I have to admit both subspecies look quite similar. The first one is the front legs. The wood bison don't have significant chaps behind the front legs. That refers to the clump of hair about where the elbow would be. They also have a bit more hair towards the front of the head, and their horns stick up higher compared with the plains bison. Another visible difference is where the peak of the hump is. If it is before the shoulders, it is a wood bison. If the peak is over the shoulders, it is a plains bison. Some other differences include that the tail of the wood bison is longer and has more hair, and the wood bison overall seem to be a little bit darker than the plains bison. Of course, even knowing all of this, it is still difficult to tell, as you'll probably never see a plains bison next to a wood bison. What also makes this difficult is that the two subspecies have interbred, and there are animals that appear with mixed looks. For the second half of our visit, we hiked along the shoreline trail. In the distance is High Island. Along the way, we saw some fire pits at the day-use areas, and a tree that had recently been visited by a beaver. I also spotted some footprints in the snow. I think these are raccoon. Some bison hair. And we paused to watch some birch peels dancing in the light breeze.
Elk
Decided to visit Elk Island.
See if there's any elk.
The island was joined to the mainland by a small isthmus. You can hear the wind as I got out into the open. Here comes Lyndon, carefully avoiding the bison patties. We walked around the island, but saw no elk or bison, and we found a sheltered area out of the wind to pause for a small lunch. I was happy that the sun came out, and it felt warm for a few moments. The sunlight also lit up tracks that crossed the snow-covered
and the
ice.
sun came out. Brought a few cucumber sandwich, some veggie balls in there, cheese. Of course, my backpack kind of knocked everything apart. Had to reassemble the things.
As we started to head back, we found a pine tree that a bison had used as a rubbing post. The area smelled a bit musky. Here's a close-up where you can see some of the hairs that have gotten stuck on the bark.
Herbivorous animal.
Feeling fulfilled and tummies fueled up, we started on our journey home. As always, thank you for watching, and a huge thank you for everyone who continues to support us.